Ladies and gentlemen, can I ask you to take your seats so we can begin the program? Don't make me start naming names. I'm looking out at that crowd and I can see faces I know. Thank you, everybody. As you can read, my name is Jim Lanfranchi. I am the chairman of the Business Initiative Corporation for the last 9 years. I'm very proud to represent the Bronx to the economic development of its residents. So, we're going to start our program, as we always do, with the national anthem. Please rise, face the flag, and you can join singing, too, with the children of the Renaissance Youth Center.
Remain standing. Good morning. My name is Bervin Harris, President and CEO of Renaissance Youth Center. It's great to be here. We got an opportunity of singing this song at the 5-Borough Bike Tour. If you guys were there this Sunday, we were the ones singing the national anthem, but we've been singing it for the last 11 years. So you're about to hear that same arrangement again. But also, we're celebrating 25 years of being in business. Now, we are a non-for-profit business, which means I am a professional beggar. So in closing, after we sing this national anthem, I will be coming by to say hello. Your job is to give me a card so I can call you for some money. Hey, Borough President, how are you? And I want to thank Rob Walsh and his amazing team for inviting us to be here today. All right, here we go. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the paved light, o'er the ramparts we were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the and the hope of the
Wow. I don't know about you, but that was one of the most beautiful renditions of a great song. So again, I'm Jim Lanfranchi, chairman of the Business Initiative Corporation of New York. And I'd like to, first of all, start off by thanking Villa Barone and all our great servers, the staff, who've done a fantastic job. If you like the breakfast, I always look forward to it. This would not be possible without the borough president. Queen V, you've heard of Queen V. This is Queen V, whose leadership we admire and appreciate, and we wouldn't be possible without her support and the support of her great staff. Also have to recognize the Business Initiative Corporation administration and staff, and the Bronx Economic Development Corporation administration and staff. For those of you who don't realize, this is just one event in Bronx Week, and the Bronx is the only place where a week is 2 weeks. So the Bronx Tourism Council as well promotes a lot of events. We promote a lot of events, all recognizing the Bronx. This is our opportunity to recognize economic development in the Bronx and to recognize all of you for the work you do supporting businesses which put food on table and pay rent for people. So thank you very much for coming and participating. Thank you. So it's also important to recognize the sponsors that we have, and we do have a lot of them. I'm going to skip over Webster Bank because that's me, but we want to thank J.P. Morgan Chase, who's been a consistent sponsor for us and big sponsor. Thank you very much, guys. This is not possible without you, obviously. Our platinum sponsors, Ponce Bank, TD Bank. Our gold sponsors, Right Check. Thank you very much, Joe. Con Edison, Orange Bank and Trust. Anthony, thank you. Johnson Security Bureau. Where is Jessica? Always happy to see her. Salsa Catering and Special Events. Danny. Ridgewood Savings Bank. Our silver sponsors, the Bank of America and the Empire State Bank. Thank you. Our bronze sponsor, PDA Corporation, and our significant partners, the Small Business Development Center at Lehman College, my alma mater. And the reason we're here, the United States Small Business Administration. Fantastic. I would also be remiss if I did not recognize the contributions of our board members. And I'll read them out. We have plenty of time. Sandra Erickson. Where's Sandra? There she is. Sandra Erickson, my vice chair. Jessica Johnson, who I mentioned before. Johnson Security Bureau, who's our secretary, who's got to keep track of every comment that is made in a board meeting. It's not always easy. Joel Coleman from Right Check. Thank you, Joe. Sieta Shan, Dolores Batista, Gus Petrago, Hugh Campbell, Rosie Diaz, Lola Gatsivoda, Byron Logan, Anthony Mormile, Carlos Santana, Mark Simshauser, and Dio Singh. And by the way, these are all not just bankers. These are attorneys, CPAs, business owners, contributors to the economy in the Bronx, key contributors, and we thank them for their service. Special thanks again. I recognize the Bronx Economic Development Corporation. Rob Walsh, where are you? Thank you, Rob. Your support. Rob's support goes beyond just moral support. He is a key contributor to the thought process and the ideas that we have, and we wouldn't be anywhere without him. Thank you. The Bronx Tourism Council, of course, the Bronx Borough President's Office, and again, the U.S. Small Business Administration. I was asked to, every year I'm asked to make comments, and it's always the same idea. I need to recognize and explain to you, for those of you who are not familiar, what the SBA 504 program exactly is. It's a program that allows us to lend, banks to lend, to small businesses, up to the loan size up to $10 million, gross amount, and take some of the liability off the bank. It's a way for the bank to make a loan that they normally wouldn't make by putting some of the risk on the government. So 10% comes from the capital that the borrower brings to us. 40% comes from the SBA, and the other half comes from the bank, whatever bank or lender. It could be a private lender as well. That allows an owner to have a 25-year fixed operating cost for rent. And anybody who reads tax returns as much as we do, you know that line 11 is what? It's rent, right? It's usually the largest single line, maybe other than labor. That rent now does not go to a landlord, to a real estate investor. It goes back to the company, to the owner. It becomes a form of pension plan. After 25 years, their loan is paid off, their building is paid off, they have an opportunity to sell their business. And during the time that they are reinvesting that capital, they're reinvesting it on job growth, because that's what the program and the SBA is all about, job creation. How do we put more people to work? So over the last 26 years, maybe closer to 30 plus, we've built a portfolio in the Business Initiative Corporation of New York of $46 million, and it's growing. And I have to thank Raphael Roger. Raphael and I have worked together for about 15 years. Raphael has been a driving force crossing the state. We just closed a loan up in, we're closing a loan in Buffalo, Rochester, Niagara. Somewhere up there. I haven't been there in a while. Luckily, I don't have to visit the place. But it's our second loan to a great business owner and a great operator. We also go all the way out to Long Island. We do focus on the Bronx, though, because that's where our heart is, right? Going forward, I'd like contributions, to see contributions from every banker in the room. When you go to see somebody, know what the 504 loan program is all about. 25-year fixed rates. Bankers, you also get CRA credits. Where's Karina Saltman? She knows all about, that's Webster Bank's, but in any case, CRA credits, less liability for the bank, economic development, creating jobs. Thank you again, everybody, for coming. Thank you so much for your support. I look forward to talking to you during the course of the morning. Take care. I need to introduce now some remarks from Vanessa Gibson.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our 26th annual Bankers Breakfast during Bronx Week 2025. We are so excited to welcome all of you here. Special thanks to Villa Barone for always hosting us each and every year. I am always so excited to be among family, friends, and community, because as we celebrate Bronx Week, we are celebrating who we are. We're celebrating our diversity, our strength, our resilience. We are celebrating the impact that we are collectively making across our borough. No matter what neighborhood, zip code you represent, you serve, we are all in this together. And I am proud to stand before all of you as your Bronx Borough President. For the last 3 years, we've been working together collaboratively on common priorities and a blueprint for the Bronx. The Bronx means business. The Bronx is here to stay. The Bronx is making significant investments that are having an impact throughout the city of New York. So I thank you all for being here. I cannot believe that the Bronx Bankers Breakfast has been hosted for 26 years, right? That deserves a round of applause. 26 years. Sometimes things don't last 26 days rather than 26 years. So it is truly a testament to our power and our influence and working collaboratively together for the same priorities to make the Bronx even better so that we can truly be the best place to live, to work, to raise our families, and do business. So I welcome each and every one of you. Now, it has been said that this is Bronx Week 2025, and I just want to make sure everyone sees that we have a calendar. Everywhere I go, Rob, I take this, Raphael, this is all over. I carry it with me in my purse, the car, everywhere I go, because I want everyone to know about Bronx Week. I want them to know that this is 13 days of recognizing all of the people, places, businesses, cultural institutions, historic landmarks that make our borough what it is today. We would not be here celebrating the Bankers Breakfast if it had not been for so many of our incredible leaders across the Bronx. Our non-for-profit organizations, our educators, our public servants, those in the financial sector, in the private sector, elected officials, government partners. We would not be here today. So Bronx Week, as it has been said, the longest week in the world, but we are the Bronx and we do things a little different. So I am okay with 13 days. How about you? That's okay, right? 13 days. And during this Bronx Week, I am so grateful that we are taking a moment to uplift the voices of so many of the people that make our borough what it is today. Whether it is our older adults or our veterans who have served this country and our military families, whether it is our health day that we have, our silent disco, our labor breakfast, our BX small business factor where we honor small businesses, to our Walk of Fame induction ceremony, the People's Choice Award, the Bronx Ball, with our finale on Sunday, May 18th, our Bronx Children's Parade and Carnival Festival, and our concert. That's a lot of events, right? In 13 days. And so I thank you all for being here. And before you leave, make sure you take a copy. We have plenty for everyone who is here. So again, thank you everyone for being here. And let me take this moment to thank all of you for your love of the Bronx, for your investment, for your labor, for your collaboration, and all that you do to drive this economic agenda. All of our partners here, we are so proud to work with all of you. And at my side, in the office of the Bronx Borough President, I thank all of you on behalf of our team, our Chief of Staff, Justin Cortez, our Deputy Chief of Staff who is here, Tom Lucania, our Intergovernmental Affairs Director, Ish Gonzalez, everyone that works at Borough Hall. We are so proud to represent 1.4 million residents and growing. Let me thank our chairman of BICNY, the Business Initiative Corporation of New York, and all of our board members of BICNY. Can we give them all a round of applause? Thank you to our chairman. Thank you, Jim Lanfranchi. We say thank you so much, Jim. You do amazing work, and I am so proud to work with you, call you an ally and a partner in this work. The work that we are doing at BXCDC is phenomenal, and I'm so grateful that we are here with our very own president, Rob Walsh. Thank you, Rob, and all the members of BXCDC. We say thank you, thank you, thank you. You know that when we took office, we wanted to make sure that BXCDC, BICNY, and Bronx Tourism Council took it to the next level because we are all about maximizing opportunities, and I'm so grateful that we thought about the leadership of BXCDC and who we wanted to see at the helm of this incredible organization. And we knew about Rob Walsh as a professor. We knew about his work under the Bloomberg administration. We knew about his work creating the business improvement districts all over the city. And we said he's the best choice. And I'm so grateful that the members of BXCDC voted for him to serve as our president of BXCDC. Thank you, Rob Walsh. And And working closely with Rob Walsh at BXCDC is, of course, our president of Bickney, who runs this Bankers Breakfast, who does all of the work traveling throughout the state. And yes, he may be closing on a loan in Niagara Falls in the northwest part of our state, but he represents the Bronx. So thank you, President Raphael Roger. We thank you for everything. I love seeing him in a commercial with Rain Total Care. It's Ralph and his mom. And I said, Ralph, I saw you. I saw your mom. It's beautiful. So thank you, Rain Total Care. I know Dr. Anderson Torres is here. I want to say thank you to everyone and to our keynote speaker for the morning. I'm going to recognize her officially, but she is a friend. She is a partner. We've done great work together in job growth and stimulating our economy and making investments in the Bronx. And that is none other than our superintendent of the New York State Department of Financial Services, Superintendent Adrian Harris. Thank you for being here and welcome. Welcome. To the Bronx Tourism Council, that helps us with Bronx Week, all of our signature events. We have the most amazing team, the Director of Operations, Julius Drake. Julius, where are you? Wave. Do a dance. Oh, he's okay. Julius is all the way in the back. We see you, Julius. To you and the team, thank you, thank you, thank you. We've been able to add more sponsors each year. We get better and better because that is the work that we are truly called to do. To all of our elected officials and government partners, all of our community stakeholders, not-for-profit leaders, all of our financial leaders, business leaders, colleges, universities, banking partners, our business improvement districts who are here, I see you. To the Bronx Chamber of Commerce, and to everyone that represents the Bronx. My heartfelt gratitude and appreciation to all of you for all the work you do. To all of our sponsors who have been recognized, I say thank you to Chick-fil-A, Fordham Road, to JP Morgan Chase, to Capital One. Thank you, Con Edison. Thank you, Bronx Care Health System. Can we give them all a round of applause? There are so many sponsors. And we could not do this work without you, so we truly say thank you. Whether you are a gold sponsor, platinum sponsor, media sponsors, BronxNet Television is here, Executive Director Michael Maxnabi, News 12 Bronx. No matter the level, you are a part of the fabric of this borough. And we appreciate you and we celebrate you in this moment. You are a part of making Bronx Week one of the very best celebrations that we are having each and every year. Bronx Week is more than events and celebrations. It's more than 13 days. It is about lifting up what makes our borough so great. The people, the small businesses, the leaders, the entrepreneurs, our workforce, the institutions that invest in our growth, recognize our talent, our promise, and our potential. That's all of us. Over this last year, we've made meaningful progress, strides, achievements, accomplishments in economic development, job growth, building generational wealth, and investments. It matters when we invest in our borough because we are setting the tone for what it means when public and private partners get together. We are raising the standard of leadership in this borough, and I am excited about the opportunities that lie ahead. One example that I want to put a light on is a recent award that we were given by Governor Kathy Hochul under the Downtown Revitalization Initiative. It's called DRI. It was round 8 in the history of the DRI program. The New York City Regional Economic Development Council usually awards a $10 million grant to a county that is focused on economic development and job growth. The last time that Bronx County received DRI funding was in 2015. But something happened, folks, and we had a competitive application. We had 2 neighborhoods that we were looking at in terms of economic development and growth. Rob Walsh and I made a compelling argument. You would be proud of how we represented the Bronx. And we didn't know if we would get the award because we were competing with the other boroughs, with Brooklyn and Manhattan and Queens and Staten Island. And I said, Rob, how do you think we did? How do you think that we performed? and we were not sure. And then we get a call from the governor's office, and they said, congratulations, Madam Borough President. Not only did the Bronx win, but you got all $20 million. I am so proud of that. I get emotional when I talk about it because the Bronx deserves it. We have often been left behind. And I appreciate that the governor's office and Empire State, Joseph Tazwell and his team, everyone is watching the Bronx. And I'm so proud that not only do they see us, but they're willing to invest money in our borough. So we got all $20 million, ladies and gentlemen. And we got it for the greater Morris Park community. So shout out to the Morris Park Business Improvement District. Camellia is here. Westchester Square Business Improvement District. White Plains Road Business Improvement District. Community Board 10 and Community Board 11. Bronx House. We did it, community. We did it. And now we have 32 capital projects that this team assembled. And we are now a part of the local planning committee with the state to make sure that we spend every dollar, right? Every dollar of $20 million. We are not playing. This investment is going to breathe new life into our commercial corridor, creating more jobs, improving our infrastructure, our public spaces, our parks, strengthening our small business community. We are also looking at this area for the new Metro North expansion in Morris Park, the site of our new Bronx STEAM Center. We're excited about that. Our partnership with Montefiore Einstein, Mercy University, and the Simone Development Team. This is amazing, and this is just one example of how far we have come. We've also made direct investments in many of our local entrepreneurs. I see you. Last year, we launched a microloan program in partnership with Raphael Roger and Bickney and the BXEDC, offering loans under $50,000 to our small businesses that traditionally lacked access to capital. I'm proud to report that we've approved over $150,000 in microloans, helping to launch Bronx-based businesses so they can grow and expand and strive and thrive. And just 2 weekends ago, shout out to Capital One Bank, because we transformed the Grand Concourse and Fordham Road branch into a Capital One Cafe. That's how I say it, not cafe. Cafe. Beautiful. And Capital One graciously agreed to invest $1 million in economic opportunities for our borough, including $200,000 to the Fordham Road Business Improvement District, $200,000 to Lehman College, $200,000 to Arriva, who does financial empowerment programs, and $400,000 to BXEDC. How about that, right? Excellent. And in addition, last year, we joined J.P. Morgan Chase for the renovation and the official opening of its new community center at the Fordham Road location. Can you imagine, ladies and gentlemen, going into a bank and having community space where you can meet with your tenants, your residents, your colleagues, your constituents? You can have events. Can you imagine? And you can have bank transactions. That's awesome. It's just like the Capital One Cafe. You can go in and get coffee and latte and have your banking needs met. That's amazing. And what I love about these new initiatives, ladies and gentlemen, is that it thinks outside of the box. It looks at creative ways to redesign our space in a way that is community-oriented. It means that we are all neighbors working together. I also recognized last year our Department of Financial Services Superintendent, Adrian Harris, joined State Comptroller Tom DiNapoli and our office at Ponce Bank as we looked at a banking development district in the Castle Hill community with the Castle Hill Business Improvement District, and they were given a $35 million commitment from the state to provide access to capital, financial services, and technical assistance. Congratulations, Ponce Bank. These announcements, ladies and gentlemen, truly reflect our broader commitment in public-private partnerships, one that brings all of our financial institutions together, local government, state government, higher education, organizations to advance economic opportunities, bring stability, and commercial revitalization. These partnerships are valuable, but you know what? They're necessary if we are to be the borough that has a lasting impact for generations to come. I am very proud of how far we have come, whether it is promoting access to capital, mentoring new entrepreneurs, new businesses, strengthening their opportunities, strengthening MWBEs, investing in our workforce development. We need your leadership now more than ever before. The Bronx, our borough, has always been a place of strength, of diversity, of creativity, and innovative approaches to doing business. But it is also a place of promise and potential. And I see that. You see that. That is why you're here. It is a place where innovation is born from resilience. It is a place where purpose is identified from pain. It is a place where we achieve strength in the midst of a storm, where community is at the heart of everything that we do and everything that we proudly stand for, where equity is important, fairness, justice, and most importantly, intention. We can truly change lives. As Bronx Week continues and we're on our 13-day journey, I encourage you to celebrate with us. Support local businesses, eat local, shop local, work with all of our partners, SBS, the Department of Financial Services, Empire State, as well as our partners at U.S. Small Business Administration. Keep investing in the borough and tell everyone about what is happening here. Now, you know I am a competitive borough president. I compete with my colleagues, and I like to make sure that when the Bronx is leading, I let them know. Because when their boroughs are leading, they love to tell me. So I said, you know what we did during the pandemic? Our unemployment rate was 26.6%. You know where it is today? 6.8%. Incredible. That is a testament to all of you. So let's keep building together, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep believing. Let's keep hoping. Let's keep empowering, encouraging, imagining. Let us keep motivating the next generation. We are the future leaders that this community must see, but we know that there are pathways and footprints that we are creating for others to follow. So do your very best to mentor someone, an up-and-coming entrepreneur, someone who has incubator space that wants to open a business. Our message this year is one of profound commitment, consistency, dedication, determination, and intentionality. The Bronx, our borough, folks, will strive and thrive in 25. That's my message. The Bronx will strive and thrive in 25. So I thank you so much. Welcome to Bronx Week. Thank you to everyone for joining us today. And now it is my absolute honor and pleasure to recognize our keynote speaker for the hour. She is a leader. She is a role model. She is our superintendent of the New York State Department of Financial Services, appointed by our governor, Kathy Hochul, confirmed to lead DFS in January 2022, when I started as borough president. Since then, she's led transformative work on key financial issues such as AI, digital currency, cybersecurity, and dealing with the banking crisis in 2023. Under her leadership, DFS has recovered more than $630 million in restitution for New Yorkers across the state. She's also adopted impactful and meaningful regulations aimed at improving equity and access in financial and our healthcare systems. Before she joined DFS, she held senior roles at the U.S. Department of the Treasury and the White House during the President Barack Obama administration, where she helped to shape financial reform efforts and advance cybersecurity initiatives and promoted consumer protections. She's also worked in the private sector at Sullivan & Cromwell LLP, served as general counsel and chief business officer at the insurance startup Doma. She's a graduate of Georgetown University, earned her JD from Columbia Law, where she was a law review member, and MBA from NYU with concentrations in economics and management. She has an extensive bio, but it is such a pleasure to recognize today and say thank you for your leadership. We support you. We're here to work with you to make sure that every time you come to the Bronx, we come with more investments, and more partnerships, because that's how we make the Bronx grow. And strive and thrive in 25. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome our Superintendent of the New York State Department of Financial Services, Superintendent Adrian Harris. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you all for inviting me to be here to speak today. Thank you to the wonderful Bronx Borough President, Vanessa Gibson, for that very kind introduction. As a quick aside, the Borough President and I met 3 years ago. We were both coming into these jobs. I think it took us about 2 seconds to realize that we were going to be really wonderful partners, and that's been true for the last 3 years. The only part of this partnership that I find challenging is that I always end up speaking after her. She gets up here and inspires everybody and gets us all excited, and I have to get up and talk about regulation. But it's been such a joy to work with you, so thank you for having me here today. I also want to recognize Rob Walsh, Raphael Roger, Jim. Thank you for having me here today. It's an honor to be at the Bronx Bankers Breakfast, surrounded by so many leaders and innovators, change makers driving positive transformation from this borough and beyond. And it's a really special privilege for me to be here today. My mother grew up just 10 minutes from here. I sadly lost her 5 years ago, but I know she'd be so proud that I came to her borough to represent, so thank you for having me. The energy in this room truly reflects the strength of the borough's business community, the incredible work being done to expand opportunity and economic equity. Since joining DFS 3.5 years ago, I have worked to lead a similar transformation at the department, one rooted in rebuilding and modernizing and delivering for the people and the institutions we serve. When I arrived in late 2021, the department had endured years of underinvestment in people, technology, and processes. We were not equipped to meet the high standards that New Yorkers expect or that our regulated entities need in a 21st century economy. With the support of our partners in government, we secured full funding and got right to work. We built a strategic plan focused on our people, our processes, and our policies. That work led to a comprehensive staffing plan to hire and retain top talent, and I'm proud to share that since January 2022, we've hired or promoted more than 1,100 team members across the department. We created the first ever data governance, pharmacy benefit manager, and climate teams. We hired the department's first ever chief technology officer and chief risk officer. We created executive roles to lead operations and onboarded more than 200 financial services examiners, the first hired since 2018. We also restructured our banking division to reflect the modern financial system, creating 3 distinct bureaus: banking operations, non-bank supervision, and banking supervision. And these changes have allowed us to improve efficiency and respond to risk more quickly and deepen our expertise across the board. Today, with workforce reductions happening at the federal level, we are doubling down on our staffing efforts. To be clear, the department's work, our mission, and our responsibilities will remain. In my time at the department, we have not shied away from tough issues. One of my go-to mantras that the team is really sick of hearing is the only way out is through. Take, for example, the 2023 banking crisis, which I know many in this room are all too familiar with. In March of 2023, my team from across DFS worked tirelessly together to protect consumers and small businesses, like many in this room, during the closure of Signature Bank and in its aftermath. The lessons of the crisis reinforced our mission and drove new reforms. We updated our character and fitness guidance to ensure banks and non-banks alike are regularly assessing leadership as part of sound risk management. At the same time, we've remained laser-focused on financial equity and consumer protection. Just last year, we proposed regulations to expand the Community Reinvestment Act to non-bank mortgage lenders. This will help ensure consistency in the industry and ensure an equal footing between banks and non-bank mortgage lenders. We're carefully reviewing the comments to the proposed regulations now. We are also expanding access to banking services across New York. During my time leading the department, DFS has approved several new banking development districts, including one in Community District 9 in partnership with Ponce Bank. And this brings us to 7 new banking development districts and branches during my tenure. These designations bring banking services directly to underserved areas, helping more New Yorkers open accounts, build credit, and take control of their financial futures. Programs like these make a tangible difference in people's lives, and we are proud to support them with your partnership. We have also increased access to affordable banking services by allowing state-chartered institutions to offer bank-on accounts as an alternative to the New York basic banking account. This means that more New Yorkers have access to safe, affordable banking services without common fees, while permitting banks to meet their state-mandated affordable banking requirements. Since issuing our basic banking guidance, 23 New York state-chartered institutions have begun offering bank-on accounts. As we develop policy, DFS is committed to a data-driven approach, grounded not in ideology, but in real-world outcomes. And the results of my tenure speak for themselves. Since August 2021, DFS has adopted or amended 57 regulations, including regulations to streamline compliance and modernize rules to meet 21st century public policy objectives, while also reducing compliance burdens. We have issued 100 pieces of regulatory guidance and closed 119 enforcement actions, resulting in more than $460 million in penalties. And we have addressed 170,000 consumer complaints and now returned $680 million to New York State consumers through restitution. And that money does not include the over $2 billion in virtual currency that we got returned to consumers across the country as a result of our settlement with Gemini Trust Company. These aren't just statistics, they aren't just talking points. These figures represent real people, real businesses, and real money. And they reflect the progress we can achieve when we work with our partners in government and other key stakeholders from the business community and advocates. But there's far more work to come, and I look forward to tackling the challenges that lie ahead together with our partners in government, the business community, and other key stakeholders. At DFS, we will remain focused on working to advance our mission to build an equitable, transparent, and resilient financial system that benefits consumers and supports businesses. Thank you.
So as a thank you for coming to our borough and being our keynote speaker, we would like to present you with the Bronx Afghan we give to every speaker. We're ready. All right. Hi, I'm Raphael Roger. Nice to meet you, everybody. Before we get started, I know they've done it already, but thank you to all of our financial institutions. We couldn't do this without you. The borough wouldn't grow without you. I know you guys take a lot of flack at times, but we understand that the work that you do and the investment that you make, we as a borough would not be able to continue to grow, and we will grow with the work that you guys do. So thank you. I want to brag a little bit about our team. Considering we have just started doing some of these loan programs and we're trying to build the ship while it's flying, as bankers, you guys know, having the back of the house, I'm used to being front, and now we have to be our own regulators and understand what the back of the house does. And boy, it's been a rough time, but we have, through our Community Advantage loan program just here in the borough, we were able to get over $1 million last year into the hands of small businesses. So I want to thank our team. I mean, we talk about me going all over the borough, all over the state, and that's great, but this is my hometown. And as a hometown boy, this is always where the impetus is for us. So thank you all. We had a great year last year. We did $13 million, just us. It's a total project investment of close to $30 million for financial institutions around the whole state. So thank you guys. If you have the opportunity, if you're a small business owner here, to have 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 30 seconds with a banker here, you should introduce yourself. These are the folks that are going to help you as you start to grow. These are the folks that you need to know. We found out during the pandemic, everybody who didn't know a banker was in trouble. So if you have a business, you should be meeting at least one or two, get a couple cards. If you are also in such a good space where you're about to buy your commercial condo, your co-op, your taxpayer, sit with these folks. Come and talk to us. We have a table over to the left with all of our information, and we will help you to achieve those dreams. Finally, before we start with the presentation, thank you to Ruby, Luis Garcia, Mike Nixon, Marshall Strawbridge, Pedro Soto. These are our feet on the ground. You guys are probably annoyed by them. Imagine us. Thank you, guys. And we're ready for some awards. Very good. So our very first one, I want to call up our chairman for a citation, and Karina Saltman from Webster Bank. For our next citation, I'd like to call up our friends at J.P. Morgan Chase, Yesenia Quiñones, our big board member, Rosie Diaz, and finally, I would like to call up Carlos Naldon and Sergio Vaccaro from Ponce Bank. So now these are our bigger awards. These are the folks that have really helped us over the years through investments, through helping small businesses and the different work here in the borough, and the state for that matter. The Terrence Martin Award, it honors one of our founders of the Business Initiative Corporation. He was the chairman of the loan committee until he passed. And this year's Terrence Martin Award will go to our friends again at Webster Bank. And I don't think Kareem is here yet. Come on back up, Kara. Is Jessica Johnson available for us, please? And I call Jessica up, and I brag about her all the time. She is a third-generation entrepreneur here in the borough, Johnson Security Bureau. Her father, this is actually a legacy award because her father was a member of the marketing committee and the chairman of the marketing committee, and this award is named for him. And this one, I'm sorry. And this one goes to our friends at TD Bank. Richard DeSilowitz. Is Ralph here? Ralph Bumbaka. And Carmelo Alvarado, please. I did have a good time hanging out with these guys. Was it about a month ago? They opened up a brand new branch in Norwood on Jerome Gunhill Bid, wherever you guys are at. Thank you guys for all you do, and thank you. And I'm going to ask for one more assistant if I can get her. Madeline Marquez, please. So Madeline, we created this award because you really don't know what happens when administrations change. So we created an award for her because of all her time here as the executive director, vice president of BIC. Without her, without Joe Ethier, which I think Joe might be here today, we wouldn't be where we are. So I'm going to turn it over to her.
So my child is 26 years old now. And I'm so grateful for Rafael. This is a true story. Before he became president of Bigney, he was looking for an internship. And he interned with me for an entire year, going through everything, helping to plan the banker's breakfast. I mean, every inch of everything that Big did, he was right there with me. So when I decided to accept an offer I could not refuse, to quote The Godfather, we started looking for who could run Big. And I got to tell you, we were not looking for someone that had a banking background. What we needed was someone that was very detail-oriented, that was Bronx-based, and that would love Big just the same way I love it. And that was Rafael. Then they surprised me with creating the Madeline Marquez Economic Development Award, which is very humbling at the same time. And when I told my son, he goes, "Mom, you got an award after you?" I said, "Yes, dear, I do." It's humbling, and it's also really feels great when your son is surprised and or shocked and or honored as well to have an award named after his mother. And my grandchildren, he brags about it with his kids. He goes, no, that's Gama. Gama got an award after her. So just sharing with you what he tends to do. So last year we gave this award to the man that brought me in, Joithia, because 26 years ago, folks, women did not run entities like Bigney in the finance industry. And he took a risk on me, and he saw in me something that I didn't see then, and pushed forward, and here we are 26 years later, having the 26 Bankers Breakfast. The first one, by the way, was held on 161st Street in the Rotunda. And we brought everything in. And the SBA administrator, Aida Alvarez, was our keynote speaker. So that's how far back this thing goes. But today I have the distinct honor to recognize Joseph Taswell. And I met him. You, sir, are the recipient of the Madeline Marquez Award. But let me share with you a little bit about all the wonderful work he's done and the economic development funds that he's brought into New York. Joseph is the New York City Regional Director of the Empire State Development, representing New York State across the 5 boroughs of New York City, and on issues such as business retention, expansion and attraction, as well as matters relevant to the regional economy. Joseph is also the Executive Director of the New York City Regional Economic Development Council. That council has secured over $535 million in grants and ESD Excelsior tax credits for 980 New York City projects with a cumulative project value of over $6.3 billion. That, sir, is why you're getting the Madeline Marquez Award. He has an extensive bio, but I just want to say thank you for all you do. And Terrence, please come up and get your award.
And I just want to throw in, I know you couldn't put a finger on the scale for us, but thank you for helping during this getting the downtown revitalization to the Bronx and all the work that you do, Joe.
Wow, good morning. Thank you. Thank you, Madeline, for that kind introduction, and thank you, Bronx Borough President Gibson, Bigney, and BXEDC for this incredible honor. On behalf of Empire State Development, I am proud to accept the Madeline Marquez Economic Development Award. Empire State Development is committed to supporting vibrant communities and driving economic opportunity across New York State. And nowhere is this more evident than right here in the Bronx. Our partnerships with financial institutions, local businesses, nonprofits, and elected leaders have been vital in expanding access to capital, fostering innovation, and creating jobs. Together, we've made great strides, but our work continues. I look forward to building upon these successes alongside each of you, ensuring the Bronx remains a vibrant, dynamic place to live, work, and thrive. Thank you again for this recognition and for your ongoing partnership and dedication. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. One more time for all of the honorees, our keynote speaker. As was mentioned by the chairman, I have to throw in the plug too. If I have a room full of bankers, I wouldn't forgive myself for not saying it, but if you have any work that you could refer to us or that we can help you with, we are here. Tom Wallace, I don't know where Tom is, Pedro. These are our folks who try to push this program along for you guys, and we try to make it as painless as possible for the business. And thank you for referring projects to us over this year. It has been a great year, but we look to do more. We're off to a good start, but it could always be better, right? That's always the way it should be. Between BIC, BXCDC, and all of our partners, we want to help celebrate all of you guys. The next part is a thank you to all of our elected officials, but especially to our borough president, Vanessa Gibson. We joke during the 5K, she probably ran it already, and she's off to the next event before we all got started. She was on. Rob Walsh, thank you for pushing and making the team and me a better. Thank you to all of our sponsors, especially our diamond sponsors, our friends at Webster Bank and JP Morgan Chase. Thank you. I want to thank all of our team. The BX, EDC, BIC, Borough President team was here super early in the morning to set up and all throughout this last 6 weeks to get ready. A special thanks to Jillian Barrett and to Phyllis Allende, wherever Phyllis is, probably cursing my name. Thank you to Peter and everybody here at Villa Barone for hosting us every year. Please enjoy a delicioso coco helado and have a great Bronx week. Please, I hope to see everybody at the ball. Thank you. I combined it.
Oh, okay.
Do you want it?
Can we have all of our honorees please join us at the step and repeat for una foto? Happy Bronx Week, everyone. Make some noise for the Bronx. Yes. In the words of my dear friend Amadeus, our 2024 Bronx Walk of Fame inductee, this is Big Bronx Energy.
English, en español y también bilingüe. Nos vemos en la próxima clase.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Open. Our last guest is a singer and producer who blends contemporary alternative R&B with older soul sounds, with influences from artists such as Frank Ocean and SZA, Tamari Gaye and Teddy Pendergrass. His music has been praised for its honest and relatable lyrics, soulful vocals, and catchy melodies. Everyone joining us to share more, we welcome singer and producer Ben Kelly. Hello and welcome.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for being here. This is going to be an interesting discussion.
I'm ready, let's do it.
Yeah. So, you know, you're quite